Hi people, hi everyone. Need a confirmation regarding the sounds, everything perfect, clear? Yes, good. So I think last week we completed up to the question number 3. Can I get a confirmation on that? Please. We completed up to the question number 3. Yes, good. Then now, let's get into the question number 4, people. Let's get into the question number 4. So first what I want you to do is classify each and every item, people. Classify each and every item. Today we are going to learn how to prepare the balance sheet also. So last week we learned how to prepare the income statement. So today we are going to learn how to prepare the balance sheet also. Okay. So let's start doing it. No, they are asking us to prepare the profit or loss statement, people. Profit or loss. But let's do the classification first and we'll understand what are the items will come to the income statement. Okay. So this is opening stock. Opening stock we learned, people, last week. It is an item which will come to the cost of sales. Purchasing also part of cost of sales. Carriage inwards. Last week we learned. Here, see. Let me show it for you. Here. Carriage inwards is a past part of carriage inwards. It is a part of cost of sales. Part of cost of sales. And load in expenses again. Load in expenses again a part of cost of sales. So sales means sales, no? %10 fixed deposit. 10% fixed deposit. Fixed deposit is we learn in the grade 10. Grade 10 we learn, people, all the types of assets, liabilities, everything perfectly we learn. Fixed deposit is a non-current asset for the business. Non-current asset. Interest income. This is an income. But this is an other income. Other income. Machines and equipments, non-current asset. Discount received, other income. Discount given. You tell me, people, what expense is that? Admin expense or distribution expense or finance expense or other expense? Discount given is what expense? Last week we learned. It is something connected with the customers. Any expense connected with the customers will come under the distribution expense. Very good. Insurance, admin expense. Stationery, admin expense. Promotional, marketing items will come under the distribution expense. Salaries to sales staff. Sales staff salary, items connected with the customers, expenses connected with the customers, marketing, sales, distribution, delivery, everything will come under the distribution expense. So this is salary of salesperson, sales. Rent, admin expense. Debtors, current asset. Bad debts connected with the customers. So it is distribution expense. Cash balance, current asset. Overdraft, current liability. Bank loan, non-current liability. Then next, interest on bank loan. Interest on bank loan, it is finance expense. interest on bank overdraft finance expense. Capital is a part of equity. Capital is a part of equity. Now everyone just take a highlight and highlight the items which will come to the income statement, people. Items which will come to the income statement. Income statement we will take income and expenses only. So this is connected with the cost of sales, purchase, cost of sales, cost of sales, cost of sales. Sales is the main income. Other income. These two are non-current assets. Other income. Discount given distribution expense. Insurance charges admin expense. Stationery admin expense. Promotional expenses distribution expense. Salesperson salary distribution expense. Rent admin expense. Trade debtors current asset එක balance sheet එකට. Distribution expense current asset current liability non-current liability. This is finance expense. This is finance expense. That's it. So these four items, these items are there. These will come to the balance sheet. This one will come to the statement of financial position. 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 For the income statement, statement of profit or loss, we are taking only the income and expenses. That's it. Nothing else. So you start preparing the first part, people. Start preparing the first part. So I'll do it in Excel. So I hope you all can see the screen, people. Excel screen. Give me a confirmation. I hope you all can see the Excel screen. Yes, good. Yes, for sure. Give me a second. Give me a second. If you all are done highlighting, just let me know, people. Then we can move to the question. Done. So whose business is this? Navisha's business. Navisha's business. So write the first line, people. First line. First line. Navisha's business. Navisha's business. Second line. අපි හදන්නේ income statement. We are preparing income statement. So write statement of profit or loss. Statement of profit or loss. Statement of profit or loss. Now people, you tell me in this question, what should be the last date? Just think and tell me. What should be the last date? Because we will prepare the balance sheets and the income statement for the last date. No? Last day එක මොකක්ද වෙන්න පුළුවන්. What can be your last day? Generally, they will give it the question. Yes. Since they have given here 1st January, the last day will be 31st December 20XX. So write it here. Yes, good. Statement of profit or loss as at 31st December 20XX. No. Good. I was checking. For the year ended. For the year ended 31st December 20XX. So start with the sales, people. Sales. Once you are done with an item, put a tick. Once you are done with an item, put a tick. Sales. 456,000. Then from the sales, we have to deduct the cost of sales. Opening inventory plus purchases. And in this question, we had plus carriage inwards. Plus in this question, we had loading charges. Minus closing inventory. So this is what we learn, no people. This is what that we learn. So give me a second. Give me a second, people. Okay. So opening inventory 8,000. 8,000. Purchases 145,000. 145,000. Carriage inwards 6,000. Loading charges 3,000. Then here we are getting 154,000. So here we have a total of 162,000. Can anyone tell me what's the meaning of this 162,000? What's the name? What is the name of that 162,000? Anyone tell me? Anyone tell me? What is the name of that 162,000? Last week we learned. Beginning of the year you had 8,000 worth inventory. During the year 154,000 cost worth inventory we had purchased. So 162,000 worth inventory we had to sell. Cost of the inventory had to sell 162,000. In this question, go to the last part, people. What are they telling? All the goods purchased have been sold. That means no closing inventory. Means no closing inventory. No closing inventory. So closing inventory 0. 0. Then take the cost of sales, people. 162,000. 162,000. Now get the gross profits. Gross profits. So here you can take it separately also if you want, people. Not a must. You can do like this also if you want. Like you can show the cost of sales in a separate line. Separate line like this. Cost of sales. Cost of sales. Gross profits 294,000. 294,000. So we are done with the first part. So I told you income statement has two parts. So trading part is done. That part is done. If you are also done, just let me know, people. If you also finished it, just let me know. Good. Now, second part. So this is the first part that we studied, the trading part. Let me put a... So first part, from the sales till the gross profit, that is the first part that we studied. This is the first part. This is the trading part. Now let's move to the second part of the statement of profit or loss, if not the income statement. Now take the other income. Other income. So since we marked it, people, now it's very easy for us. Interest income on fixed deposit 4,000. Discount received 7,000. Those are the two other incomes. Interest income for fixed deposit. discount received 4,000 and 7,000. So here 305,000. Now take expenses one by one. Now take expenses one by one. So here last week I gave you the format: distribution expense, admin expense, other expense, finance expense. So start with the distribution expenses. Distribution expenses. We have discount given 6,000. Given, tell me another name. Discount given, tell me another name, people. We have studied, no? Discount given, discount allowed. Good. 6,000. Then promotional expenses 20,000. 20,000. Then salaries of sales staff, salesperson, 36,000. Bad debt 2,000. Bad debt 2,000. Good. So with that, we are done with the distribution expenses. $64,000. Now do the admin expenses, people. Admin expenses. Admin expenses. If anyone finished the question, just send me a message with the final profits. Insurance charges 8,000. Stationery expense 5,000. Rent expense 30,000. Done. That is also done. So in this question, we don't have any other expenses. Nothing. Finance expenses. Finance expenses. Interest on bank loan 6,000. Interest on overdraft 1,000. Interest expense on bank loan. Interest expense on overdraft. 6,000 and 1,000. Okay. Now get the final profits, people. Get the final profits. From 305,000, deduct 64,000, 43,000 and 7,000. 191,000. Am I correct? 191,000. Check and let me know, people. Good. So this is, we'll call it as net profit. Net profit. Net profit. Final profit. If you all are done, let me know, people.
That one, Yunus, there are no column headings, huh? Those are just 3 rows. So 3 columns actually. So you can write the values in the first column, and you can take the total to the second column. We'll take an example like expense. All the expenses, if you want, you can write it for the first column. Total of distribution expense, second column. Total of admin expense, second column. Total of finance expense, second column. Then total of all the expenses, you can take it for the third column. That is also one way of doing. There is no right or wrong method of doing it because those columns doesn't have a name. Okay, those columns doesn't have a name. Those are just three columns. Sometimes we'll prepare the financial statements using three columns, sometimes two columns. That is not a big thing to look into, Yunus. Clear? No problem. No problem. No problem.
Finish. Good. Now let's move to the next question. So in this question also, I am asking to prepare the statement of profit or loss. So let's do the classification first. Capital, equity, part of equity, sales, sales is sales, no? Discount received, other income, bank loan, non-current liability, opening inventory. First January. That means opening inventory. It's a part of cost of sales, commission income, other income. Purchases is a part of cost of sales. Carriage inwards, part of cost of sales. 10% fixed deposit. It is non-current asset. Insurance, admin expense, fixed deposit income, other income, discount given, connected with the customers, distribution expense, bad debts, connected with the customers, distribution expense, administrative salaries, admin expense, sales promotional expenses connected with the sales, distribution expense, interest expense on bank loan, finance expense, bank charges, finance expense, trade debtors, current asset, buildings, non-current asset, stationery, admin expense, cash balance, current assets, losses from the cash frauds. This is other expense. Cash loss, stock loss, any item which is not falling under admin or distribution or finance will come under the other expense. Stock loss, cash stolen, stock stolen, flood loss, stock damages, everything will come under the other expenses. All the goods purchased have been sold, which means no closing inventory. Which means no closing inventory. So highlight the items which will come to the income statement. This will come to the income statement, sales, So here we have fixed deposit income. Okay. Fixed deposit income. So these items will come to the balance sheet. Statement of financial position. These 6 items will come to the balance sheet. Remaining everything will come to the income statement, if not statement of profit or loss. Okay, write the business name. Following figures has been extracted from business of Mali. So Mali's business statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 20XX. 31st December 20XX. Sales. $650,000. Then you have to deduct the cost of sales. First take the opening inventory. Purchases. This question we have carriage inwards. Opening inventory 15,000. Purchases 200,000. Carriage inwards 5,000. So addition of 15,000 and 205,000. So starting you had 15,000 worth stock. During the year 205,000 worth stock you have bought it, purchased it. So in total you had inventory cost of the inventory had to sell 220,000. From that, we have to deduct the closing inventory. In this question, closing inventory is 0. Here, all the purchased have been sold, which means no closing inventory. So here, let's take the cost of sales. $220,000. Now let's get the gross profits. So if you are done with the first part, people, let me know. Then I'll move to the second part. Good. Now let's move to the next part, other income. Other income. So other income, we have discount received 12,000. Good, Hamshini. Let's see, Okay. 12,000. Next one, commission income 6,000. Then fixed deposit income 6,000. $454. Now take one by one expenses. Distribution expense. Discount given 9,000, 5,000. Bad debt 9,000. Sales promotions 60,000. That's it. With the distribution expense. $74,000. Then admin expense. Insurance expense 12,000. Admin salaries 40,000. Stationery expense 8,000. Then you have other expenses. Other expense, we have a cash fraud 2,000. Then finance expenses. Here interest on bank loan 6,000, bank charges 2,000. That's it. Now find the net profit, people. Net profit. $310,000. Can someone confirm it? Because from another student, I got a different answer. So I want to check whether my answer is correct or not. Confirm and let me know, will you people, what's the correct answer is. Just check the values again. Just check the values. I'll make it smaller. Just check the values again, people. Start from the beginning and check one by one. 310 is correct, no? Good. Hamshini, just try to find it. Hamshini. Three ten, no? Good. Good. Perfect. So this business, by doing their business people, they have generated a profit of 310,000. You tell me, profit will increase the equity or decrease the equity? Profit will increase the equity or decrease the equity. In the accounting equation chapter we learn. Profit will increase the equity. Good. Shall we move to the next question, or do you all need more time? Do you all need more time, or shall we move to the next question? Okay, no problem. Sure. Are done? Good. So now let's move to the next part. We are going to learn about the balance sheet people. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the balance sheet. So let me explain it. First of all. So we learned when we are studying the accounting equation chapter, asset equals equity plus liability. Done. We are done with the balance sheet. This is what balance sheet is. All the assets should be equal to equity and liabilities. That's it. Colors. Finish. So now let me explain a little bit further. So asset people, we learned there are two types. What are the two types? What are the two types? Assets, there are two types. What are the two types? Long-term assets and short-term assets. Non-current assets and current assets. Liabilities, we learn two types. What are the two types that we study? What are the two types? Long-term liabilities, non-current liabilities, and short-term liabilities, current liabilities. Okay. So write down this question, people, everyone. Write down this question. Question, X limited as at 31st December 20 XX non-current assets. 500,000. Current assets 400,000. Closing equity 450,000. Non-current liability 300,000. Current liability 150,000. Question, write the above values into the basic accounting equation. Part A. Part A. Write the above values into the basic accounting equation. So write it, people. Asset equals equity plus liability. Show the assets like this, people. Non-current assets, current assets. Non-current liability, current liability. So non-current assets 500,000, current assets 400,000. So total assets 900,000. Equity 450,000. Non-current liability 300,000. Current liability 150,000. Total liabilities 450,000. If you all are done, let me know, people. Okay, now write the part B of the question. Part B. Part B. Prepare the statement of financial position inside the brackets balance sheet. Balance sheet. Prepare the statement of financial position for the X Limited as at 31st December 20XX. As at 31st December 20XX. So it's very simple, people. Balance sheet is the same accounting equation, no difference. You have to take the total of the assets. You should balance it for the total of equity and liability. Assets and the total of equity and liability should be the same. Now here, if you take addition of equity and liability, 900,000. Total assets also 900,000. This is what we are going to do in the balance sheet also. Same thing, nothing difference. So X Limited statement of financial position. Asset. Okay, balance sheet should be asset. For a particular day only we are preparing the balance sheet. Asset. ඒ දවස වෙද්දී balances කීයද assets වල liabilities වල. As at that particular day, how much assets are there, how much liabilities are there, how much equity is there. So starting with non-current assets, how much non-current assets that we had? 500,000. Then current assets, 400,000. Addition of these to 900,000, that is the total asset. Total asset. Other side you have equity and liability. Closing equity. 450,000. Non-current liability. 300,000, 150,000 is the current liability. Current liability 150,000. Then here 900,000 total equity and liability. That's it. Same accounting equation. Total assets equals equity plus liability. Total assets equals equity plus liability. එච්චරයි. Same thing. So this is what balance sheet is. If you all are done, let me know, people. Good. So next, what are we going to learn before preparing the financial statements, which is the income statement, balance sheet? We are going to learn how to calculate this closing equity, people, which is something that we have already studied. Okay. So I'll just take an example and explain it to you. When you are starting the year, owner's portion is 300,000. Owner's portion is 300,000. During the year, owner invested some additional capital. We'll assume another 100,000. So additional capital will increase the equity. And during the year, owner withdrew some capital money from the business. We'll assume 50,000. So drawings will reduce the equity, starting equity. And people, during the year, from the income, equity will increase. From the expenses, equity will decrease. So income and expenses together, only we are calculating the net profits or net loss. If there is a profit will increase the equity, losses will decrease the equity. We'll assume during the year there is a net profit of maybe 150,000 or 120,000. So now you will get the end of the year equity. End of the year equity. If not, this is opening equity, this is the closing equity. Then end of the year equity will be how much? 400,000, 350,000, 470,000. Simple as that. When you are starting the year, owner's portion is 300,000. During the year, owner brought more capital to the business. So if he brings capital to the business, equity will increase. We learn two things will increase the equity. Equity will increase due to two reasons. One reason is additional capital. Additional capital will increase the equity. Other reason, income or profit. Profit will increase the equity. Likewise, two reasons will decrease the equity. What are the two reasons? One is drawings. Drawings will reduce the equity. Other one is expense. If not, losses will reduce the equity. So these are the four things that we studied in the accounting equation chapter also. So during beginning of the year, අවුරුද්ද මුලදී owner's portion was 300,000. ඌ තව 100,000 ගෙනාව business එකට. So his portion should increase. No, if he brings more 100,000, his portion should increase. And during the year, Bugger has taken 50,000 out. Drawings will decrease the equity. And during the year, there is a profit will increase the equity 120,000. So end of the year, his portion is how much? 470,000. So using these people, we constructed an equation. මට මතකයි තාම. Accounting equation chapter එකේ ඕක කරාම. So the equation that we constructed, closing equity equals මෙතන මේ opening equity plus additional capital minus drawings plus the net profits. Loss nang minus කරන්න ඕනේ එච්චරයි. So using this example, we constructed this particular formula. How to find the closing equity? So balance sheet we are preparing for the end of the year. No? So ideally you should go and write the closing equity. But sometimes we will show the entire adjustment inside the balance sheet itself. So let's do some calculations to calculate the closing equity. Then we'll move to the balance sheet. Okay. ළමයි ලියා ගන්නකො formula එක. Let's do it here itself. Let's do it here itself. Write the formula. Closing equity equals opening equity plus additional capital minus drawings plus the net profit. So as at 1st January, that is the opening, 150,000. Additional capital නැහැ මේක. බින්දුවයි. Drawings කීයද? Cash drawings, good drawings, ඔක්කොම drawings 20,000. There are 20,000 drawings. Net profit for the period 50,000. Then how much is the closing equity? 200,000, 180,000. 180,000. If you all are done, let me know. Good. So now let's move to the next question. Question 7. On 1st January 20XX, Sudhira started a retail business of kidswear by investing 240,000 in cash. Further, he invested 30,000 worth furnitures and 300,000 building to the business. The business earned 360,000 income and incurred expense 210,000 for the month ended 30th June 20XX. During the period, Sudhira has withdrawn 18,000 cash and 7,000 worth of kidswear from the business. You are required to calculate the following. Make an opening. Opening. So opening capital kolla kiyyak dalada Sudhira? He has invested cash 240. Cash 240 plus furniture 30,000. Everything he has invested on the first day. Yeah? So everything will come under the opening capital. 300,000 building. So මිනිහා completely දාලා තියෙනවා කීයක්ද? Completely he has invested 570,000 when he was starting the business. Okay. Profit earned. So profit for the month of June. For the 6 months ended. 6 months. He has done it for the 6 months. For that particular 6 months, 360,000 income, 210,000 expense. So I'll do the question over here, people. Question 7. cash, furniture, building. 240, 30, 300. $570,000. That's the first one. Second one, I am asking the profit. Income. Income 360,000, expenses 210,000. $150,000. $150,000. Third one, total withdrawal. Cash and goods. It's where? Third one, cash drawings, stock drawings, stock or goods drawings. 18,000 and 7,000. So total drawings 25,000. Total drawings 25,000. Now we have to calculate the closing equity. Closing last day. Closing equity equals opening equity plus additional capital minus drawings plus the net profit. Opening equity 570,000. No additional capital. Drawings 25,000. Net profits 150,000. Then what's the final answer? 595, 695,000. Can someone confirm it whether it is correct? 695,000. Correct. Good. If others are done, just let me know. Huh? Done. Good. Now, let's move to the question number 8. So in question number 8, I am asking you to prepare the balance sheet, statement of financial position. But don't prepare. First do the classification. එතකොට වැඩේ ලේසි, සෑහෙන ලේසි. Land and building, long-term asset. Trade debtors, current asset. Current liability. Non-current asset. Non-current asset. Income receivable. Tell me another name for income receivable. Income not yet received. Income not yet received. Tell me another name. Income not yet received. ඕකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ accrued income කියලා. Income receivable lah. Receivable payable කරන්න එපා. Payable means if you have to pay. Here we have to receive. Receive. Accrued income. Current assets. Accrued expenses we learn current liability. Cash in hand current asset. Drawings reduction of equity. Closing stock current asset. Delivery vehicle non-current asset. Here they have given opening equity. අපිට opening equity නෙමෙයිනේ ළමයි ඕනේ, අපිට ඕනේ closing equity. Profit for the period. They increase the equity. Bank loan non-current liability. Non-current liability. So let's start preparing the balance sheet. So here I have given you a rough format. I have given you a rough format, but people, when we are doing the question, you will get the exact thing to it. I gave you the shortest one. Non-current assets, current assets. It will give you the total assets. Then take the equity and the liabilities. Non-current liability, current liability. එච්චරයි. වැඩිය හිතන්න යන්න එපා. So let me do it in Excel lah. Question number 8. Okay. Write the name first. Whose business? Manisha's business. Manisha's business. Now we are preparing the balance sheet. Statement of financial position. Statement of financial position. You will get 1 mark for this part, people. Writing the heading properly, you are getting 1 mark. Balance sheet always asset. මතක තියාගන්න. Balance sheet always asset because balance sheet balances for a certain date. Asset date එකකට තමයි හදාන්නේ. Asset 31st, no. Yes, 31st December 20XX. So start with the non-current assets. non-current assets. Then list කරන්න ඔක්කොම non-current asset. Now list all the non-current assets. List it people. I told you non-current asset, current asset. Then you will get the total asset. Then you will have the equity. For the equity, you have to add the total liabilities. Current liability, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Etc. So list it people. Land and buildings. Land and building. 280,000. Next, furnitures 30,000. Next, 5-year fixed deposit. $120,000. Next, delivery vehicle 550,000. Delivery vehicle 550,000. So we are done with all the non-current assets. $980,000. හරිද ළමයි? 980,000. හරිද? හරි. Then current assets. Current assets. Trade debtors 60,000. Then income receivable 16,000. Cash in hand 90,000. Cash in hand 90,000. Then closing stock 55,000. People, I want to show you a small thing. So here see in the format, when they are giving the current asset, generally people accepted ways write in the closing stock first. හරිද? General. Not wrong. ඔයා stock එක අන්තිමට ලියුවා කියලා වැරදි නැහැ. It's not wrong. But generally accepted ways write in the closing stock first. Then trade debtors next, income receivable, bank, cash in hand. Cash in hand අන්තිමටම ලියන්න. So it's better to follow that method people. It's better. So just find some space and දාගන්න closing stock කියලා. $55,000. So I think we are done with all the current assets also. Now get the total. Now get the total assets people. $1,201. Correct? Correct. Good. So total assets ඉවරයි. දැන් අපි මොකටද යන්න ඕනේ ළමයි කියන්න? Now we should move to which one කියන්න ළමයි? අපි දැන් මොකටද යන්න ඕනේ? Next part. එක පැත්තක් ඉවරයිනේ asset ඉවරයි. So next, what is the next? Accounting equation එක. අපි කරානේ. නේද? නේද? Non-current assets ඉවරයි. Current assets ඉවරයි. Total assets ඉවරයි. Now we have to calculate the closing equity. දැන් ඉන්නේ closing equity. හරිද? So how to calculate the closing equity? හැමෝම කිය. Closing equity අපි කොහොමද calculate කරේ? Opening equity at the additional capital minus the drawings at the net profits. So if you adjust all these things nicely, you will get the closing equity. එහෙමනේ අපි හෙව්වේ. තාන්ට ඔයාට closing equity එනවා. Opening equity plus additional capital minus drawings plus net profit, you will get the closing equity. So let's get the opening equity, maybe 600,000. No additional capital, zero. Drawings tibba මේ question එකේ maybe 12,000. Net profit 325,000. Take the closing equity, people. $913,000. 913,000. Correct? Closing equity හරිද? Yes. Next, what is next? කියන්න ළමයි. What is next? What is next? equity වලට පස්සේ මොකක්ද ගත්තේ අපි? Non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities. So non-current liability, I think we have only the bank loan. Bank loan 200,000. Non-current liability. Then we have two current liabilities. Current liability. One is trade creditors, accrued expenses. Trade creditors, accrued expenses. Trade creditors 73, accrued expenses 50. So total current liabilities 88,000. Now let's take total equity and liability. Total equity and liability plus this. 1201. Balance it. Should balance no? Balance sheet no? Should balance. Yes, balance sheet is accounting equation. You'll have all the balances. Finally, it should balance. If you are done, let me know. So people, with that we are done with the question number 8 also. So another two more questions are there. People. So let's do the remaining two questions next week. Then with next week we'll be done with the first accounting unit in your grade level. Let's do these two questions next week. Then we can finish it off next week, people. That's it. Tata, bye. No problem.